Hey everybody, this is Doa, and today we're going to watch a game between not Flash. I believe this is actually Drewbie, that's what it said in the replay, and his opponent is going to be EG Machine. Well, that's interesting. This was uploaded to the Root Gaming website supposedly by Drewbie, so I guess he has like a maybe, I don't know, secondary account or something like that. I know a lot of pro players do, but when you see Flash, think Drewbie this time, I guess. And, well, anyway, his opponent is going to be EG Machine. It's going to be a straight-up ZVT fisticuffs battle on XelNaga Caverns, I guess. And we also see Machine sending out his first Sloverlord to do a little bit of scouting there. I call them Sloverlords because they are slow right now before they get that upgrade. When they get the speed upgrade, then they become actual overlords. But for now, obviously a Sloverlord. And we also see Flash, aka Drewbie, putting up his supply depot that will begin his wall. And I really like XelNaga Caverns for the fact that it tends to make most players play, you know, very standard. You don't see a whole ton of cheesing on XelNaga Caverns, at least not in my experience anyway. And of course, you know, XelNaga Caverns, the positioning map, you have to make very, very sure that you put your units in the right place when it comes to these choke points here. Otherwise, you will be in big trouble. Games have been lost and won at these choke points, and it may very well come into play today. I have not seen this replay yet. I tend to actually not watch the replays before I cast them. I kind of enjoy it a little bit more that way. We see Machine putting down his hatchery, and I think in terms of emotion goes, I mean, when you talk about some casters faking emotion and things like that, it's much harder to fake it if you're actually feeling it. So that's part of it too, because I don't like to fake things for you guys. If I'm excited, I don't want to be like, oh, this is exciting, because I know it is because I watched the replay already. I want it to be genuine, you know? So that's the deal here. We see Drewbie getting, well, almost, that drone looks like he wanted to harass, but then kind of thought better of it. In the meantime, letting the SCV push him around like a shopping cart. Flash getting his, see him doing it already. Flash, aka Drewbie, getting his first gas. And actually Machine stealing the gas of Drewbie. Excellent idea, I feel. We see an SCV checking out the expansion for Machine there. If you are a Zerg player and you steal this gas, that severely limits the openings that either a Terran or a Protoss player can do. Not such a big thing in TvZ, obviously, but I really do endorse doing this if you're a Zerg player these days. You see a factory going up for Drewbie, just because it kind of forces a lower tech early game composition in most cases, unless they work really, really hard to kill off the extractor. Machine transferring a few drones down. Looks like he wants to put down a spine crawler right there. There goes the spine crawler. No gas yet for Machine, except for that one right there. So looks like he was planning on staying alive with some spine crawlers and Zerglings early in the game. And Flash actually, or Flash aka Drewbie, I'm going to be doing that all game. You know, I'm going to be calling Flash because I see Flash and then it comes out. Putting down a little bit of a hidden starport there and actually moving his barracks over. I would guess to build a tech lab. There is a tech lab. Meantime, he's going to put a little bit of pressure on with some Hellions. Very normal thing to do there. Not really too much of a hidden starport, as a Machine, of course, could just walk right in here and see it. But it is kind of nice to give it, you know, just put it that much closer to your opponent's base. We also see some Hellions going up across the map for Drewbie. Taking a little bit of time to cook a Zergling. They'll come back and have that for dinner later. Meantime, Machine repositioning his spine crawler. And here comes the Hellions for Drewbie. Going right past the spine crawler, right into the main base of Machine. Machine really only has his queen to defend right now. No other spine crawlers, and Drewbie may actually get a fair amount of kills. Drones getting roasted right now. Wow, actually losing quite a few drones is EG Machine. Chasing as best he can with that queen, but kind of caught off guard by those Hellions moving that spine crawler just the wrong time, and then not really having any Zerglings as well to hold up that defense. First Hellion finally goes down. Damaga still losing drones. Second Hellion gets poked down. Let's take a look at that income tab real quick here. Yeah, Damaga back to even with Drewbie. And when you are even in drones and on two bases against someone on one base, that is not a good thing. So Drewbie with a little bit of early success. We see both players still fairly similar in the army count. More Hellions coming in for Drewbie right now. These Zerglings are not going to last very long. Getting just around one right there. One Hellion going down. A couple Zerglings, and it looks like these Hellions are not being microed quite as well as the last couple. So they will be picked off by EG Machine. Still doing a little bit of damage here. Keeping an eye on the mini-map, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot going on. We do see Machine getting his lair right now, getting Zergling speed as well. Queen's still chasing that Hellion, and we also have a Banshee coming in as well towards the base of EG Machine. A couple Zerglings maybe thinking of filling in for the drones for a little bit, helping gather minerals. And here comes the first Banshees, so the Hellions are down, but the Banshees are coming in now. Of course, one Banshee does kill one Queen, but again, not being microed terribly well, just kind of leaving it sit there for a little bit. And this Banshee may actually be taken out if Drewbie's not very, very careful with that. Nice transfuse going down on that Queen. A few more Lings being produced by Machine. More Hellions coming in the back from Drewbie. Drewbie just putting a ton of pressure on his opponent right now. I've been wanting to show you Drewbie's base for a while. We see him getting the expansion on the minimap, but all the action is right here right now, so we're just going to keep following this for the moment. Lings finally becoming Speedlings, and that's going to help quite a bit. That Hellion going down as well. Spinecrawler going up in the mineral line. Another Banshee coming in. Just kind of chilling out, saying hi to the Slover Lord. Expansion going up for Drewbie there. Doesn't look like that Queen was taken out. Maybe taking a couple hits from that Banshee. Banshee going to go after this Queen as well. Second Queen coming in to reinforce right now. So just constant pressure from Drewbie. If we go back to take a look at the base of Drewbie as that Banshee buys the farm, we do see a bunker going up to try to help stabilize that natural expansion of Drewbie. 3 barracks right now, one with the tech lab, starport with the tech lab, as we know from seeing those Banshees. Hellions coming out of the reactor factory, some SCVs being transferred down. Drewbie is moving into the mid game now. 2 reactors going down on those barracks as well. He knows with the pressure that he put on his opponent, he has time to put down those reactors, doing a lot of economic damage. And just taking out a lot of Lings too. I mean, that's huge too. 2 gas going down for Machine. We also do see a Spire going up as well. So going into that Ling Muta strategy that is becoming so popular in ZVT. Stim being researched by Drewbie as well. Possibly thinking of doing a little bit of scouting with this factory, or possibly thinking of landing it, getting a couple tanks now. Some Banshees coming out with some Hellions. Taking that XelNaga tower. And it looks like the Queen and some Lings are going to work on these rocks as well. Machine knowing that he's going to have to try to expand fairly quickly to keep his economy ahead of his opponent. Machine kind of on his back foot in this game so far. Hellions coming in, taking a few shots at the Queen. Banshee's coming in as well, and this Queen is actually going to go down. No, it is. Yes, it is. It was at 1 hit point. Thought it was going to get away, but it did not. Hellions just chilling out for the moment. They see the Spinecrawlers and they let the Banshees do the work. Sporecrawler is down for Machine as well, though. That's going to help him a little bit, but Drewbie has just enough room to poke in and go after this extractor. Both Banshees still at quite a bit of health. These Hellions really not doing anything yet at this point. Getting within range of the Sporecrawler for just a moment. Meanwhile, if we look on the production tab, we do have Marine Shields and siege mode going up. A couple Mutalisks coming out now, and that's going to help clean up the rest of those Banshees, as Banshees cannot fire against air. Managing to pick off the Queen, though. Wow. Nice snipe there for Drewbie. Meantime, Drewbie is kind of gathering a force of Marines with Stim at the bottom of his ramp. He's going to go into that Marine tank build, which is very, very effective against Zerg right now. Hellions being chased away by the Mutalisks, of course. And Drewbie moving out with these Marines, actually stimming all of them, but not able to fire a single shot. A little bit of a miss stim by Drewbie there. We also do see Machine getting flyer attacks level 1, building a Roach Warren, and also getting Baneling speed as well. That Baneling nest did go up at some point in this game. Morphing in some Banelings as well for defensive purposes, I would imagine. We do also have Drewbie getting an engineering bay and an armory. And there is another armory up somewhere, or not another armory, there is an engineering bay up somewhere for Drewbie, as we do see from the production queue that he is getting the bio attacks level 1. I'd show you the building, but honestly that's not terribly fascinating. Looks like Machine taking his 3rd expansion now, moving out with a large group of Lings, a couple Banelings, and a pretty decent amount of Mutalisks as well. Drewbie working on the more normal 3rd expansion to take on this map. Most players preferring to go for that gold expansion rather than take this 3rd blue expansion here. And really the gold is fairly defendable on this map. I mean, you have these 2 points that the enemy generally comes from, and especially for Terran with all the siege tanks, that's quite easy to deal with in most cases. Although, again, it depends on the players and the game, of course. And I believe Drewbie may actually be going in to look for this third expansion. I wonder if he sees it. He does not know the expansion's there, but he's going to find out right now. Moving in with these forces, lots of Marines, one tank, couple of Hellions, some medevacs healing the Marines. Here come all the Banelings, though, catching Drewbie, annihilating that tank and forcing Drewbie to run away as fast as he possibly can. Micro not the best for Drewbie, although being caught off guard like that, there's really not a whole lot he can do, doing a little bit of scouting with the medevacs right now. Those medevacs are actually going to go down very, very quickly to the Mutalisks. So Machine able to catch Drewbie completely off guard, taking a look at the base of Machine real quick here. Nothing new there. One medevac does manage to escape. Actually, a couple of them scrambling, I suppose you could say. Looks like six Marines planning on dropping for Drewbie. Drewbie getting that third base as well. He's probably going to put it as a planetary fortress right here, I would imagine. Let's take a look at the army tab shortly after that attack. Spine crawlers poking away at the rocks. Looks like XelNaga, or not XelNaga. That was the last game I looked at. Machine ahead slightly. Well, never mind. Now Drewbie is. He was ahead a moment ago. Both players dead even at the moment. If we look at the income tab, Machine does have a few more harvesters than his opponent. And there is a drop going on right now. At the same time, Mutalisks poking in at the base of Drewbie, but this drop, I think, has a chance to cause a little bit more damage. Drewbie just waiting for just a moment. Moving in to attack some of the drones for Machine. Banelings coming in from behind, though, catching those Marines. That drop did really not do a whole lot. Prevented Machine from mining for a short time, but that's pretty much everything. And now the Mutalisks going after this medevac, but they don't quite see it. Mutalisks just barely missing the medevac. They're going to come in and try to do some damage to this gold expansion. There is a turret in place. Some Marines being stimmed into that bunker and around the bunker to try to chase away the Mutalisks. Drewbie getting 2 gas as well, back at his base. Putting up another factory and a starport. I would not be surprised if we saw a few more tanks come out, although it looks like he has decided to go Thors to deal with the Mutalisks. Not a bad idea at all. Machine, in the meantime, has his third base up and running quite steadily. Overlord spotting for some drops that might be incoming from Drewbie as well. Another Overlord over here. Drewbie checking this area for another base. This is, of course, a very common place to expand. He's going to catch an Overlord, though. Small victory there. In the meantime, some Marines poking in, but being forced back right away by a large amount of Speedlings. Looking for that gold base. He will find it. Another drop being found here, and all these Marines may actually die. Yes, they do die. The medevac taken down by Machine. Unfortunate situation for Drewbie here. He has secured his gold, but the drops just have not been successful, and XelNaga is using that opportunity to really take a lot of expansions, getting his third and then also taking the gold as well. And the armies for Drewbie, as you can see, are just not quite as large as they could be. Another medevac coming in here doing another drop. Drewbie with his Drewbie drops, trying to make him work. Known as a player that has been quite effective with his drop strategies in the past. Dropping those Marines off, going after the Baneling nest. I think that Machine is going to be able to clean this up fairly quickly. In the meantime, we have another small attack coming from Drewbie, trying to push across at that gold expansion. This drop has been cleaned up. We see the remains of the medevac falling down, and Drewbie attacking this gold expansion. Lots of Marines being taken out by the Banelings and the Speedlings. So right now, Machine, everything he does basically is a great answer to everything Drewbie does at the moment. Finding all the drops, catching all the armies. A few more units coming in, trying to take out this hatchery, but all that Machine has to do is bring his units back to defend it. And here they come now. Machine defending against this, and Drewbie kind of just sending, little forces after little force, instead of kind of building up and moving out with one big push, trying to get the advantage by little drops and things like that, but it's just not coming out for him this game so far. On the same token, Machine has been mostly concentrating on getting his economy up, taking a 5th base here, but he has not really had the numbers yet to really attack Drewbie. We've seen him poking a few times with his Mutalisks so far, but really hasn't been able to get a whole lot going himself, even though he has defended his bases rather nicely. We do have a little bit of an attack coming in right now, but again, so many Mutalisks on the field, it's basically critical mass right now. Unless Machine really makes a big mistake with these Mutalisks, not magic boxing when trying to take out a Thor, or moving them above a huge group of Stim Marines and not paying attention, it's going to be very, very difficult for Drewbie to get back in this game. Machine with so many Mutalisks. Gatherers still favoring Machine at this point, and the army tab definitely starting to favor Machine, as he is on 5 bases right now. I really like that he's putting a lot of his overlords up here too. That does keep them safe against things like Vikings. A lot of times Terran players will make maybe 1 or 2 Vikings and try to go hunt overlords. We also do see Drewbie getting the upgrades though. Vehicle weapons level 1, as well as bioweapons level 2, getting that infantry armor level 3. Oh, I'm sorry, infantry level 3 as well. Misread the icon there. Doing a little bit of a drop here as well. We also do see melee attacks and carapace level 2 going up for Machine, getting that hive as well. At his main base, we do see the infestation pit. Drewbie stimming in with some Marines after scanning and not really seeing a lot there. Taking out a few creep tumors, trying to keep his Marines spread out a little bit. There was that drop that we saw go out a little bit ago, but it doesn't look like it was really able to do anything. I don't even know where it went. And now Machine will attack into this line of tanks. Drewbie does have quite a few tanks, but the number of Mutalisks are so high that's going to be very, very difficult for Drewbie to hold this off. Quite a few tanks. Actually, Thor's getting in, doing some damage to these Mutalisks. The Mutalisks getting very, very low. Machine intelligently pulling them out. No reason to press this attack right now. Drewbie has managed to defend these last roaches being picked off by Drewbie. And look at this, quite a few Mutalisks, but a lot of them at very, very low health. This one only at 8, this one at 18. So he's going to need to wait for those Mutalisks to regen a little bit. Maybe move a few Queens down there to do a little bit of a transfuse. This drone obviously is not going to help in that regard. And Drewbie putting up some bunkers as well at the XelNaga tower. Taking up defensive positions. Not a bad idea. Putting all his tanks behind those bunkers. A couple roaches poking in right now. 6th base being taken down by Machine, and Drewbie's planning on fortifying this base with missile turrets. That's nice of Drewbie. First he's going to have to kill off this hatchery though. This Overlord is going to go down very, very quickly. Mutalisk coming in to harass this 4th base of Drewbie. There's so many turrets though, and all these Mutalisks are taking lots of damage, but it looks like he has just enough. SCVs trying to repair each other right now. Marines coming in to finally push away the Mutalisks. Quite a bold move by Machine. He did lose a good amount of Mutalisks in that attack, but he did manage to take out all the turrets, so this base for now is going to be a little bit weak. It's going to make Drewbie kind of focus on this, focus his attention on this. Actually, Drewbie also taking this expansion here, putting up a couple turrets as well. Mutalisks coming in again, trying to kill as many gatherers as they possibly can. Push away again. We do see a Greater Spire is up now for Machine. Hiding behind that Overlord burrow is being researched as well. These Mutalisk numbers have dropped precipitously, with Thor taking out the last of them, and Drewbie has more or less swung things around right now. Let's go to the unit counting station. Only 9 Mutalisks on the field, down from the large amount that there were before. Drewbie very smartly putting a tank up here on the cliff. I like it when players do that. Large army of Lings and Banelings though for Machine. Couple burrowed roaches, even an Infestor or 2 on the way. We do see some Corruptors being morphed in as well. They're probably going to be turning into Broodlords very soon, I would think. And this has just become such a great straight up ZVT. I'm really glad I'm casting this, because it's really showing just how back and forth a lot of these games on XelNaga Caverns are. As we see now, Machine has decided that he is going to move in. Moving in from the little bit less defended side that Drewbie has. Seeing all the forces of Drewbie and deciding to just go for the big counterattack. Rolling all the Banelings into the main. I'm wondering what he's going to go after once he gets there. He could destroy some production buildings. He's letting the Mutalisks do that as well. In the meantime, Speedlings all over the natural, doing tons of damage. Drewbie moving in with all of his forces here. Machine trying to do some damage, moving out the Banelings to take out the Marines. Lots of Thors, so the Mutalisks have to be very, very careful right now, as Machine is all over his base. This is pretty much shut down due to Speedlings. Factory is on fire right now. Mutalisks still harassing some of the other buildings for Drewbie, but not really able to do a whole lot of damage, as Drewbie has moved pretty much his whole army back here. Drewbie as well, moving out with some Vikings, getting as many kills as he possibly can on these Overlords. Any Broodlords that Machine produces now are going to need to worry about this too. Nice response by Drewbie with those. And Machine, again, producing a ton of Banelings. A lot of Speedlings, a couple Roaches as well. Vikings will see that huge amount of Banelings. He's going to want to move his tanks back and siege them up. Micro his Marines very, very carefully. Small force for Machine going up, possibly thinking of hitting this expansion, as it is not yet a planetary fortress. But here comes the big push by Drewbie. Medevac's leading the way, scanning to take out a couple tumors. Anything you can do to reduce the speed of banelings is definitely a good thing. Some Mutalisks being caught here. At the same time, some Forces for Machine going in successfully, taking out the space. Drewbie moving in, going after the gold and this expansion as well. Also sending units after this expansion. Drewbie attacking 3 places at once right now. And Machine with a lot of his forces out of position at the moment. This expansion will go down very, very quickly. This expansion will also go down very, very quickly. Go down quickly. No, he's leaving it alive, as here comes the army for Machine. Moving in with some Speedlings and Roaches, pushing the army back, as he did see those Banelings there as well, trying to get him within range of tank fire. That base did go down. Drewbie did go back and finish up. Banelings coming in, taking out a lot of the ground forces for Drewbie. Drewbie still has a nice size unit composition right here. Couple Thors, couple Marines. A lot of the Banelings are now gone. Gold expansion did manage to stay up though. Drewbie cleaning up that small force. Broodlords are on the field though now. And at this point, the players are looking fairly even, I would say. Neither player really having an army they feel comfortable with attacking at the moment. Or comfortable attacking with. Let me put the words in the right order for you guys. That's certainly nice to do if you're speaking English. Some Broodlings coming up, running up to the tanks, doing a little bit of damage. This tank getting very, very low. Where are the Vikings for Drewbie? He's going to need those. Vikings, of course, very, very effective against Broodlords. There they are. The Vikings going after the Broodlords. A couple Carpenters coming in to try to defend. Drewbie moving in, moving all of his Marines back. All the Banelings getting taken out on those Thors. He does lose his big units, but most of the Marines survive. Machine actually GGing, leaving the game, giving the win to Drewbie. As Drewbie, as you can see, has this force of Marines here. All the Broodlords were taken out by these Vikings. Sorry we didn't really catch that. But yeah, Drewbie just playing really, really solidly. Able to hold off Machine despite his superior number of bases and come back and win on this very straight up normal ZVT. I usually try to cast a lot of games that are a little bit crazy, but this time this one's normal and I like it that way. Awesome game. I had fun casting it. Hopefully you had fun watching it. If you like, of course, please subscribe. And yeah, watch me cast live for the Rush Network as well, www.therushnetwork.com. Keep playing StarCraft 2, guys, and I'll see you on the next cast.